What do I think about meditation being fun? It's one of those things that why people are resistant to meditation in the first place, because fun and meditation just doesn't go. But I do feel when you find your meditation, when you find that flow, when you allow yourself to go into the neutral mind, when you are able to understand that you have a positive mind and a neutral mind and a negative mind, and you understand the functions of them, and to be able to sit in the neutral mind and watch the world go by and take away that judgment, take away the beliefs, take away all these kind of conditionings that we have with the world, and sitting in this peace. And the more deeper you go into that neutral mind and you find that flow and you find that balance, then it becomes fun. Because once you go behind that I am and the identity that I am, and then you go further into your connection, then it's a whole new realm that you're going into. So that's where it becomes fun. Yeah. When we talk about the positive mind, it's not positive thinking. It's not this affirmation and all of that stuff that we hear about self-development. The positive mind also can be a negative mind. When you're over positive, it makes you very vulnerable. So in any kind of situation, if you go in there, you're at risk as well. So the negative mind is also not very negative. It's also plays this role in the whole grand scheme of things, that when you hear about the negative mind, you hear that it's this negative thing and he must be negative. But that negative mind kicks in when you're walking down a dark alley. You know, if that negative mind wasn't there to tell you, hey, you're walking down a dark alley, then, you know, you could get into some kind of trouble. You know, so I think day to day, I think how I remain in kind of balance, in a balanced state and a meditative state, is trying as best to stay neutral, stay in the neutral mind. And that's all, it is a practice, and it's not one of those things that someone can just magically just get overnight. You know, there's no magic pill, there's no magic technique. It's literally practice, and a lot of it's always going to be about being mindful of your thoughts in situations, and looking at a situation. Like a good example is many of us have probably been cut up on the road, you know, when we're driving.
Yeah, on the way here.
Yeah. And most of the time when we're driving, someone swerves in front of us and we get angry and we beep the horn, and you know, you get angry. Well, I don't, because I meditate. But the thing is, in that moment, what happens is, instead of being in a neutral mind and looking at both sides of the story, we have no idea about what that person is going through in that moment. You know, maybe he's got an emergency. Maybe he has to be somewhere really quickly, or maybe he just didn't see you. Maybe he's in his own thoughts. You know, so it's always about, it's not just, when I say the neutral mind and being meditative, it's always taking that moment just before you react to a situation, making sure that, look, what you've just witnessed is being processed in a way that it doesn't actually affect you. You know, when anyone says, I want to get into meditation, there's not just one secret meditation that just suits the one person. And now in this world of spirituality, the awareness of spirituality becoming more and more you know, out there, more into the commercial sector, like it's going more mainstream. I think what's happening and what I see with spirituality today is that it's not about you being in yoga clothes and meditation clothes and going to classes and showing that you do meditation from one side, but it's also not you looking like a rishi or a yogi and you sitting in the mountains and meditating. That's not what spirituality and meditation is about today. I'm a Kundalini meditation instructor. So Kundalini yoga is what is kind of commonly known as, but the meditations are very much about breath work and bringing up the energy of the Kundalini energy, which is on the third vertebra of the spine, which comes up. Now, this is a secret kind of energy, I guess, people don't really know about. It's never taught to you in school. It's very, very real. You can experience this. But it takes a method, it takes a practice for it to come up also. But with this is we use more of a mantra meditation. So the power of mantra meditation is, number one, the word mantra itself is man, which is the mind, and then you can say tra is like the rhythm, the vibration, the frequency. Okay, that's what mantra means. So every time you do a mantra, or you close your eyes in your meditation, or if you're doing it out loud, what's happening with the mantra is that you strike the upper palate of your mouth, which is the hypothalamus, that has 72,000 nerve endings which vibrate through your entire nervous system. Wow. So you know what they say about be conscious and cautious about the words that you use towards people, because they can hurt people. It's very real, because every single word that you say is having an effect on your body itself. So when they say the way you think is, you know, who you become, and it impacts who you are, it's the same as how you speak. Yeah. So when you do mantra meditation, any kind of mantra, it could be, I feel great, I am happy. But there's more powerful meditations and mantras which might come from ancient scriptures, for certain traditions, which have certain vibrations. They're not just made up words, they're vibrations that stimulate the whole body. So I work a lot with Laya yoga, it's called, but mantra meditation is one of those practices that I would really recommend for a lot of people, especially if people suffer with the monkey mind. Every time you strike this upper palate of the mouth, the vibration that goes to the brain also cuts through the thoughts that you're also having. So there's so many different layers and powers of this mantra meditation.